Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lindsay, and I'm an academic advisor here at the Division of Continuing Education at the University of Colorado Boulder. Welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to be covering what it's like to take an online class with Continuing Ed. I'll introduce you to today's presenters. We have Amy Lee and Nick Honeycutt. Amy and Nick have a combined 35 years of experience in online education, so we're in pretty good hands. So specifically what we're going to be covering, we'll go over kind of what to expect in one of our online classes, and then go over some tips and tricks on how to be successful. And then at the end, we'll go over some FAQs. On your dashboard is a spot for you to write any questions that you might have. We're going to go over those at the end, but feel free as the presentation is going on to enter any of those as they come up. So without further delay, I'll hand it over to Nick and Amy.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsay. So one question we oftentimes get is, how do these courses compare to their face-to-face counterparts? And really, they're basically the same courses. We oftentimes have the same instructors teaching both courses. They have the same amount of credit, the same amount of rigor. Oftentimes, the objectives are exactly the same. The assessments are extremely similar. Where they differ is that online courses provide flexibility. So while you do have weekly deadlines, you can structure your week in a way that makes the most sense for you. So if you work at night and you need to be able to take these classes during the day, we can do that. If you work during the day and need to take these classes during the nighttime, you can do that as well.
For fall and spring semesters, students usually have access to an online term-based course 2 days prior to the course starting date and 4 days prior for summer. So this is a good chance for you to look over the course and get familiar with the Canvas platform and the course structure. And the most important is to read the syllabus, which will help you to decide if this is the right course for you. So let's log into your course to Canvas. You can access your course via the Canvas portal, which is canvas.colorado.edu. So in this first slide, you can see there's a navigation bar at your left-hand side. In the center, here's the welcome message from the instructor. And oftentimes you can see a syllabus link from the welcome message. If it's not there, what you can do is click on modules in your left-hand side navigation bar, and you will be able to see the syllabus link there. So usually in the syllabus, you will first find the information about your instructor's contact information. And the best way to contact your instructor is through your CU email. And some instructors also hold online office hours, either through Zoom or Skype. If they do, you will find the information here as well. So in the syllabus, you will also find the course description, overview, objectives, and required reading and textbooks. And another important item in the syllabus is the types of assessment, such as written assignments, quizzes, exams, and online discussion. So the grading criteria section will let you know the weight for each assessment. Also really important is about policies. There are course policies and the university policies. Course policies such as late assignment submission. And keep in mind that even though you do not need to log into the course at a certain time and day, you do need to submit a certain assignment or participate a discussion by a certain day and time. So oftentimes, instructors do not accept late assignment submission unless you can show proof of your extenuating circumstances, such as medical documentation or your family emergency. So watch out for the course policies carefully. And there are university policies, which include information such as plagiarism and honor code. So some instructors also put information about technology requirements, when you take their course. So you can see there are a lot of information you need to know. Make sure you read the syllabus before you proceed to the lessons.
One thing you're going to find in our online classes is a syllabus quiz. And we do this for one simple reason. You're not going to be in the same physical space with the rest of your class like you would be if you were taking this face-to-face, where oftentimes in the first day of class you go over the syllabus and the policies and whatnot. So the syllabus quiz really is there to make sure that we're paying attention to different parts of the syllabus and we're reading the whole thing. You'll also oftentimes find a course tour, and this is because each online class is just a little bit different. While the majority of them fall within a very similar spectrum, each one has a little bit different, unique nuance to it based on the discipline, based on the background of the instructor. And so we recommend our instructors create a course tour so they can show you exactly what those nuances will be in the course that you're taking. One other thing that you're going to find in an online class is more graded assignments. And this is really because you're not going to be able to see, and the instructor is not going to be able to see you. And so in a face-to-face class, they would be able to check for understanding by looking out into the audience and determining if a concept is unclear or if they need to go into more depth. But in an online class, we don't have that. So consequently, what we have is more assessments to sort of gauge where you are so the instructor can implement different things when understanding is not there. We also have lectures in an online class, very much like you would have in a face-to-face, except our lectures are recorded on video. The reason we do this is to share information just like you would in a face-to-face class. You will find that the videos are oftentimes much shorter. For example, this video is only 5 minutes long, but you'll oftentimes have more of them. And so you'll have shorter videos, but more of them. I think having the access to videos online is super helpful because you can watch the video as many times as you need to prepare for a quiz or exam. And if a concept is unclear, you just rewind the video and watch it again.
Online discussions are held weekly or bi-monthly, and some are held more frequently. You will find these discussion forums under the Discussion tab on your left-hand side navigation bar. Discussions are held asynchronously, which means you do not have to be online and discuss a certain topic with your peers at a certain date and time. You can write down your answer in a Word document and then copy paste to the discussion board. Oftentimes, you also have to comment or provide feedback to your peers' postings. The example shown in this slide that you can see, there are due days for each posting, and oftentimes you can find the due date and posting in the course calendar or the syllabus as well. And next slide shows that shows you an example what the discussion board looked like. The instructor will post this week's discussion topics in the forum, and you just need to click on the reply button here and enter your thoughts based on the course content. When participating in an online discussion, please make sure to write your submissions in a professional voice. You want to treat people the same as you would face-to-face. If you are not sure, look for the etiquette expectation section in your syllabus for guidelines. And remember, it is okay to disagree, but it is important to disagree respectfully.
We oftentimes get questions about the type of assignments that you would see in an online class. And it really depends on the discipline and the course objectives for the course that you're taking. But in general, I would say the majority of our classes have assignments that are completed in Microsoft Word, as well as within the learning management system Canvas. But there also might see video projects or the development of websites, maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. The nice thing is that Canvas accepts all of these different types of assignments and shows them to your instructor and makes it really easy for you to get feedback from your instructor, whatever the assignment is.
Quizzes and exams are under the assignments tab, and sometimes you will find the links in the modules as well. Quizzes could be in various formats, but the most common ones are multiple choices and essay questions. So before taking each quiz, read the information regarding time limit and number of attempts allowed for each quiz. Make sure you have a reliable internet connection before you start the quiz. Keep in mind that you are not allowed to exceed the time limit. Some of you might have experienced with a previous learning management system. It's called Desire to Learn, which let you go over the time limit for a minute or two. But with Canvas, when the time is up, and that's it. If you have a disability that requires accommodation, make sure you are registered with the Disability Services Office and share the accommodation letter with your instructor at the beginning of the semester. You'll need a new letter for each semester. Next slide, here's just a quick example of a multiple choice quiz. So you can see it is quite self-explanatory. If your quiz has only multiple choices questions, usually you will be able to see your grade immediately in the gradebook. If there are essay questions, then you will need to wait until the instructor finished grading and uploaded the grade in the gradebook.
So time management is very important in an online class. Whereas if you're taking this class face-to-face, you would know you would need to go 2 or 3 times a week between this time and this time, and there would be a regular routine to it. With online, while you have weekly deadlines, what you do within that week is really up to you. And so what I recommend is creating some type of schedule for yourself every week. So on Tuesday and on Thursday, you're going to finish the reading and do whatever is assigned for that particular day. And then maybe on Saturday, you'll check in one more time to make sure everything is completed. It's important that you're going to be self-directed. The instructor's there to help, but it's still the work that you need to do. So as a rule of thumb, if you're taking a 3 credit hour class, you should plan on spending 6 to 9 hours outside of class per week. And so keep those things in mind when you're signing up for classes. Grades. One thing that's nice about taking an online class is the gradebook is completely online as well. And so it's important to regularly review the grades in the gradebook to make sure that you're staying on track with your course. You can see here a sample screenshot from a gradebook. You'll see the out of score, when it's due, as well as the score if you had completed this assignment right there in the middle column. If you have any questions or concerns regarding the grades you've received, you should definitely contact the instructor right away. Another tip that I highly recommend is to log onto your class every day. This is just going to keep it in the forefront of your mind, and you're just going to be more engaged in the class in general. So log on every day if you can. Discussion boards are really a place for you to share your thoughts and to engage with other students as well as the instructor. Sort of like a class discussion that you would have in an online class. This is a great place to challenge your thinking as well as have the opportunity to have a deeper, more well thought out, thorough discussion. That's one of the differences that we see between online discussion boards and face-to-face discussions is because you have a little more time to formulate your answers in the online environment, oftentimes the discussion goes a little bit deeper.
You may access your course using whichever the browser you prefer. However, Google Chrome and Firefox are the supported browsers for Canvas. So it is highly recommended that you use Google Chrome, especially when watching the video lectures. You may also access Canvas using your mobile phone's web browser, and there are also Canvas apps designed for students. So you can perform many of the course activities using your Canvas mobile app. You can view your course content, access your grades, submit assignments, and you can post messages to the course discussions and even take quizzes. OIT office, which is the Office of Information Technology Office, they have student support videos for Canvas available online. If you are interested, please go to oit.colorado.edu, select Services, Teaching and Learning Applications, Canvas, and then click Student Support.
The Composition Hub is another resource that you have access to as an online student. And one thing that people ask about is if they have to pay for this service. In fact, this is a completely free service. You're welcome to make as many appointments as you need, but I would recommend making those appointments earlier in the semester rather than later, as towards the end of the semester, it can get very busy there. The tutors in the Composition Hub can help you with brainstorming ideas for a paper, drafting, revising, or polishing. And this service is delivered through Google Hangouts or email-based consultation, which makes it easy and flexible based around your schedule.
Not all online courses require textbook. Some instructors do provide required readings in a PDF format. You may be able to borrow books from a library for a literature class. If there's a textbook required, then they are available in the CU bookstore. You may simply drop by the UMC bookstore or purchase by going to the bookstore website. It is www.cubookstore.com and go under the textbook tab. They do ship books overseas if you are out of the country. You may also purchase the book through any other online stores, such as Amazon or usedbook.com, or borrow from a library. If you borrow the book from a library, make sure that you get the correct edition of the textbook. You should contact the instructor directly if you have a question about an assignment, a grade, or the course content. Again, you find the instructor's contact information either on the course homepage or in the syllabus. If you need technical support or have a question about your Canvas account, please contact the OIT office. It is help@colorado.edu. And if you have a question about your registration or need further assistance, feel free to contact the online credit office at cewww@colorado.edu.
All right. Thank you, Amy and Nick. Don't forget to send in any questions that you might have, but we're going to go ahead and answer some FAQs. First one, how long does it take to finish an online class?
Great question, Lindsay. It really depends on the time frame. We offer classes that are 14 weeks. We offer classes that are 7 weeks and even 5 weeks, depending on the time of year. So when you sign up for the class, pay special attention to how long it's going to be, and that'll tell you how long it'll take to complete it.
Awesome. Do I have to log into the class at a specific time?
You do not. So basically, you have weekly deadlines, but as long as you're meeting those deadlines whenever they are, oftentimes we have things due throughout the week, oftentimes an initial posting on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, a follow-up posting on a Thursday or a Friday, and perhaps a quiz later on in the week, and maybe a paper, depending on the class. Mm-hmm. As long as you hit those deadlines when they're due, you can log on whenever you want.
So convenient. Awesome. Does an online course count the same as an on-campus course?
Yes, you receive the same university credits, and the course will appear on your transcript as any other class, and the grade will be averaged to your overall GPA. So it doesn't show it's an online course on your transcript.
Okay, awesome. What should I expect if I'm on the wait list for an online course?
Students on the wait list will have access to the class in Canvas up until the drop deadline. So it is recommended that you follow the first week's calendar read the course materials and prepare for the assignments so that you won't fall behind if somebody drops and you get enrolled in. However, if you do not get enrolled in by the dropout deadline, and we will purge the waitlist and you will not continue to have access to the class.
Yeah, okay. How many classes can I take online toward my degree at CU?
Generally speaking, you can transfer 30 credit hours towards your degree program. When in doubt, it is recommended that you contact your academic advisor or schedule an appointment to talk to our advisors to confirm, especially when you are taking online courses to fulfill the remaining credit hours or to fulfill a core or general ed requirements. So it's recommended you talk to an advisor to confirm.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, we do have one question that's come in. We mentioned that students may get multiple attempts at a quiz. Does that happen often where a student gets more than one try?
Depends, usually just once. So before you click on start, the start button, just make sure that how many attempts you are allowed. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you have any kind of accommodation, make sure you communicate with the instructor at the very beginning of the semester.
Yeah, that's a great reminder.
And
Awesome.
I also would say, to piggyback on that, that it's really the quizzes that are lower stakes quizzes. We don't oftentimes have multiple attempts for larger final exams, for example, or midterms in the courses. It's really usually just checking for understanding quizzes where you want to take it as many times as you can. Those are usually where we see those multiple experience quizzes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, is it possible to get ahead in these courses?
It really depends, I think, on the instructor. Oftentimes, if you explain your situation to your instructor might let you get 1 or 2 weeks ahead, but will still expect you to participate regularly in the discussion board. But it really is up to the discretion of the instructor if they feel like it's important that you're staying in lockstep with the rest of the class, or if it's something that you could get 1 or 2 weeks ahead of time, ahead of the class.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and how accessible are instructors teaching online courses? Do they ever have in-person office hours?
As I mentioned earlier, so the best way is to contact the instructors by email. But if you really want to have a face-to-face or online discussion with the instructor directly, and you can make the request with the instructor, see if you can set up an online meeting so either through Skype or Zoom. And some instructors on campus, they do have office hours too. So you can communicate with your instructors to make sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd also say that the vast majority of our instructors are based here in the Front Range of Colorado. And so if you did want to have a face-to-face meeting, you were located in this area, more than likely you would be able to meet at a coffee shop or something like that if you did want to have that face-to-face in-person meeting.
Yeah, that's so nice. Okay, are all materials available at the same time or are they unlocked each week?
Usually each week. It's on a week-by-week basis. And like I said, if you did want to be able to work ahead, that would be a conversation that you would have with your instructor individually.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, that is it for questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for asking those. And thank you again to Nick and Yenshi. If you do have any questions or have any follow-up you'd like, the email on the screen is a good address to email us at. It's cewww@colorado.edu. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.